Is it clear to see why we wanted this to be the closing film? It's an intense watch, right? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Ring of Beasts. So we have on site with us one of the lead actors who is also the script writer of the film by the name of Cameron Scott, as well as the director, Adriano, who are going to come up for a Q&A session. And just a very fun fact, yesterday was Cameron's birthday, so today is his... He has come to us a day after his birthday to celebrate the showcase with us. So, wow, that was an intense film. I've watched this film now, I think, 4 times, and each time the intensity of it still grabs me. But one thing that that you have mentioned multiple times is that this short film is more also proof of concept, which is building to something bigger. So can you please just let us know what the wider vision of this whole project is?
So I think the wider vision when it comes to the Ring of Beasts is about creating a world in a place that doesn't have a time or a space, but that we're all familiar with. And I would love for it to be a series. You know,
that's exactly what I thought it was building.
Yeah. I would love for it to be a series, and I've written the pilot for the series and the outline of 8 episodes for the first season, and then it's built as a part 1 of 3. So there's the Ring of Beasts, the Land of Beasts, and the King of Beasts. And the current state of it, though, it is a feature film version, and that's what we're currently pursuing development now as hotly as we can. And we want to make that happen, and so we're not going to stop until it does.
Okay, one last question before I open it up to the floor. Why Remus and Romulus? Why those 2 specific characters in actual mythology?
So the whole concept of the Ring of Beasts for me kind of started as a bit of a love letter to South Africa's history, in the sense of there can be 2 people born, albeit of different skin tones or races, and view themselves as brother. It's kind of based off like the fox and the hound kind of motif. And I was really trying to localize it and place it within a South African context, with those names. And I just couldn't get names that felt real, you know? And so when I saw this whole fox and the hound thing, I thought to myself, you know, I would really like if they were raised and they grew up in the wild and in nature without any, you know, impact from humanity. And then obviously I was like, oh, what if they, and then I happened to be reading Mythos by Stephen Fry at the time, and I was like, there were a lot of babies just left on the side of mountains back in the day, you know?
And in mythology, they just hated them.
They just hated them. They were like,
so much trauma.
Yeah, they're
mythology.
like, I can't kill you, but I'm just going to leave you here. Don't cry. And then they're walking away, you know? And so for me, Romulus and Remus really have such a powerful name, because for anybody who doesn't know, the reason Rome is called Rome is because Romulus and Remus, the founding brothers, had a spat over their legacy, and then they ended up killing each other. Well, Romulus ended up killing his brother when they had a sword hand-to-hand combat, and that's why it's called Rome.
All right, so we're going to open it up for 4 questions. I already see one. Oh, then we'll come to you later. No.
Hi guys, my name is Nasho, all the way from Zambia. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 2 students who won a showcase to come all the way to South Africa for a media tour. That's Michael and Rachel, both filmmakers, and we're here for a 10-day tour where we're just trying to learn in terms of you know, the media industry in South Africa. And that showcase is powerful, really powerful. I'm totally excited. Now my question is just around, in terms of showcase, what do you think is the most powerful way of doing? Do you do short film into feature film or series, or is there any way to actually showcase in order to get your audience? Thank you.
Do you want to? Yeah. I think for me, and Adriana can give some good input into this as well, for me, it's all about what hits, you know, and I feel currently in its current state, the Ring of Beasts story feels, I don't know, it's 29 minutes, but for me it feels too short. You know, we don't have enough time to go into the characters, you get limited by how long you can actually have something and see it. Whereas Metamorph earlier, whereas Metamorph was 48-hour film festival, and it's under 10 minutes, and it conveys this really compacted story, which is also powerful in a shorter period of time. So I guess it comes down to like, what story are you telling, you know? Because I think the beautiful thing about art and storytelling is that it can literally, you can make something interesting about you getting up out of bed in the morning, you know, or you could make a huge epic like The Lord of the Rings, which obviously takes 3 movies and millions of dollars. But yeah, I think any, especially today, any form of, you know, whether it's a TikTok, whether it's a feature-length film, a series, you know, there's such a range for power through our storytelling, and so yeah, I hope that answers your question from my side.
I think just in terms of that, as young filmmakers and stuff like that, I just think you need to pursue every single avenue. Don't think that by entering a short film festival or something that it's going to launch your career, because it's not about that. It's not about being seen to sign the next deal so you can go to Hollywood. It's about crafting your craft. So like Cam was saying, if you have access to TikTok, access to YouTube, access to a film festival, whatever's in front of you, you just do it. If you're waiting for the right time, if you're waiting for the right budget, if you're waiting for someone to give you a handout, it's never going to happen. You take the opportunities in front of you. Every single one of us has got a 4K camera in their pocket. When I started in the film industry, they were still using film cameras, okay? You had to hire those at 15 grand a day, okay? And for every 2 minutes, it was $4 grand.
No double takes. No, going
okay. So this is before DV tapes. This is before that kind of stuff. So there was no opportunity because no one was going to lend you their 2 million rand camera plus film to get started on a nice little idea of a project that you. But right now, the world has changed. You've got a 4K camera in your pocket. You shoot, you learn, and you define your craft. Whether you put up a TikTok video, whether you put a YouTube video, whether you enter film festival, it doesn't matter. Every single time you pick up that camera with an idea and you shoot something, you're learning, whether it sucks or not. So I think Robert Rodriguez, a great director, he said every single person has got 10 crap films before they make something good. So rather make the crap films while nobody knows your name. Okay. So I hope that encourages you. Shoot, come up with stuff.
So mine's not, it's not a question. I just wanted to big you up on the directing because it was really tense. Like, the suspense, bro. Like, I felt like there were moments where I had to just like stretch because I could feel like my body is like tensing up. So congrats on the direction.
I still get those moments. I've seen it like times.
Thanks, yeah, no, guys, I fully agree with him. That was truly amazing. So you said that you were sort of basing it on the South African experience. When it started, I had thought that the boys were twins, but I saw that one was sort of chalked out and the other one wasn't. And then they became black and white. And then the black guy gets the white girl, and then the white guy kills the black guy. I just wonder, when you were doing that, I'm sure there were challenges in maybe making some of those decisions. And so, yeah, I just wanted to know, of course, I'm assuming it was deliberate, but how hard was it to make those decisions given that it would be sort of controversial?
So I think for me, a big point, and it's I was hoping someone would bring this up because it's a very important thing for me. So the fact that the twins are different races is an actual biological function called heteropaternal infatuation, which is one woman, one mother, 2 different fathers, twins. And if you literally, I mean, you can Google right now, like twins born of different races, you know? However, if a pregnant woman gave birth to 2 children of different races, you know, how would the community perceive that? Like, how would they view that? Like, immediately do we immediately apply an optic of difference between the 2 people? You know what I mean? Do we immediately say that these people can't be siblings? They can't be brothers? And the reason why there is such a close thread to the South African narrative in my mind is because I've grown up and I've watched my country go through a period where it came from a past where Nelson Mandela said something that said, no human being is born hating another human being. A human being must be taught how to hate, because love comes more naturally to the human heart. And with Romulus and Remus, that was the dichotomy. It was Remus was raised in an environment where he was loved, where he was fostered, where he had all the support and it came from Zana, and that casting, we can talk about how that was a process. So it became very deliberate. But with Romulus, he was taught, he was forced to hate, And at the end of the day, when you're taught to hate, and when hate is such a prevalent factor and force in your life, you will end up killing your own brothers because you don't know anything else. And I think for us as a South Africa, for me as a filmmaker, and why, even now I watch this and I get emotional about it, is because I feel like we still live in that place. We still live in a place where people are so scared of the opposites of hate that they default to it. They don't explore what it looks like anymore because we are so inundated with horrible, horrible things that have happened to us, which leave us in the place that we are today. So Adrian, I don't know if you want to talk about the the casting choices, particularly for Izal. Izal was a biggie.
So just on that, it's a tough one, and with every single project, there's always going to be limitations, money, time, and as a filmmaker, you've got to make a million decisions on the spot. We shot this in 5 days during COVID. I couldn't do casting face to face. It was all online, Zoom nonsense, all kinds of stuff, locations and stuff. Wardrobe, I wasn't even there because they can't be there. They're sending photos. So the choices and stuff that you're making, and we had fights. We had fights about how this was going to end, because let's be real. 2 white guys at the helm of this, writer, director. We don't want to see him entitled white guys and the black guy's got to die. Like legit. We spoke to Hongani, we spoke to Bonko. It was like so hard, But then also going back, how many black people died because of the white guys during apartheid? Okay, so do we shy away from that? My job as a film director, the way that I see it, I'm here to bring out feelings and emotions. So I'm glad that your feelings and emotions were evoked. My question is not my job as a director is not to preach to you and give you answers, but my job as a director is to evoke emotion and allow you to ask questions. So when you walk away, those are the questions we want you to be asking, whether you think I'm a racist or not. Because only when those questions are raised can we have conversations. And so as a filmmaker, I'm not here to preach to you and tell you this is the answer, this is the way. No, I'm here to say, have you thought about this?